Who doesn't love a good Comcast rant?
And now, a look at what's trending in the podcast world and how it can help your show. It's the Jag Show Podcast.
So my wife and I moved over the holidays, but this story starts way before that. We couldn't do fiber internet in our old house for technical reasons, so we reluctantly switched over to Comcast and Xfinity. At the time, we were both working from home, and we blew through the data limits for their residential service. I figured it was all these podcast live recordings, uploads, downloads. Turns out it was her being on Microsoft Teams all day. At any rate, we had to upgrade to a Comcast Business account. Fine. In December, we were fortunate in that we had a couple weeks of overlap when we were still in the old house but transitioning into the new house. So I called Comcast, explained we needed the service in both locations. Sales rep seemed okay with that, but told me to contact him as soon as the new service was installed so he could try to keep all my discounts, which were unusually high in his estimation. I emphasized, do not turn off the service in the old house when the new house is turned on. He ghosted me after that. So cut to December 18th, my birthday no less. I spent the entire afternoon here at the new house waiting for the install. The older gentleman tested the line, told me connection wasn't great, so he climbs the utility pole in our neighbor's yard and ran a coax line across the top of their fence and ours into our house. Turns out our electricity line is underground here in the new house, which is great in the event of a storm, but bad when the cable company has to, by law, follow that line underground. So they opened the ticket to have someone come out and bury the line once the ground thawed. Meanwhile, there's this giant red coax cable strung across our neighbor's yard, their fence, fortunately they're super nice, and our yard. So the cable comes on in the new house, wife calls from the old house. Sure enough, they turned the service off over there. What followed was 15 minutes of me cussing out an automated system at Comcast because it was after hours. Finally, I get a human being overseas who tells me, oh, unplug and reset the modem if you're having a tech issue. I explain, no, it's not a tech issue. It's a you issue. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to call back after 7 a.m. when our account team is here. No. Now, I realize this may be a first world problem, but I have too much stuff in my house and for my business that relies on the internet to have it off overnight due to your incompetence. I said it a little bit nicer than that. Miraculously, they turned it back on. First bill comes for $500. This includes the install, fine, and the first 2 months of service at $50 a month, more than I'd paid all last year. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I called AT&T about fiber internet. They came in about $80 a month cheaper, no data limits, excellent customer service. Not to mention they're symmetrical, so their upload speed matches their download speed. I'm doing more video for my podcast clients, and an hour podcast at 1080p resolution can run around 6 gigabytes for the size of the file. To upload a file of that size would take an hour on Comcast's slow upload speed. With AT&T, usually a few minutes. Sold. So I call and cancel Comcast. But in the interest of being a good neighbor, I need to get that cable removed from their yard and ours. Dead end after dead end on the phone and on chat. I'm pretty sure Comcast, having the monopoly that they do, the system is designed to get you frustrated and just give up. But then my good friend Diane enters the picture. She tells me that there is a Reddit thread for Comcast support. And she suspects the agents that are too good for the phone and chat get banished there. It's like some sort of secret society. Long story short, I hop on Reddit, I post about the issue, a moderator DMs me in, despite a few hiccups in figuring out the issue. Eventually someone came and removed the line. So that problem solved. That only leaves the bill. Only the bill. Reddit couldn't help me there because once I admitted that it was a business account, they were very quickly like, not it. So on January 15th, I called to cancel the service. They had the audacity to tell me I was past my 30-day cancellation window. I told them, no, I spent my birthday on the 18th waiting around for your installer. So they processed the cancellation. Now look, I consider myself a pretty reasonable person. I don't expect a full refund for the installation or any refund for the installation, nor do I expect to get my money back for the first month of service that I used. But I damn well better get my money back for the second month of service that I didn't use. At least that's what I was thinking. They told me wait until the February 14th bill generates so I can see my refund. Fine. So I get the February 14th bill and I have a credit of $18.18. Still no refund for month 2. So today I tried the chat. Oh, you have to call our retention department. And when people at the retention department sound like AI, but I think it's a person, and eventually it sort of becomes a person. It's this weird hybrid thing. So after 30 minutes on the phone this morning, I come to find out that they are insisting I was out of the 30-day cancellation window when I called, because even though the install happened on the 18th, the contract started on the 15th. Are you kidding me? They waived my cancellation fee as a courtesy, they told me. How nice of them. As for the refund on the second month of service, when I went back over the fine print of the cancellation document that I signed, it said the cancellation will take 30 days to process and I'm responsible for those charges. I don't know why I didn't think to read the fine print on a terrible business like Comcast. You win, Comcast. I'm tapping out. When you own your own business, you have to think about what your time is worth. Or really anybody, whether you own your own business or not, you have to think about what your time is worth. And even though I wanted to die on this hill, I can't spend any more hours fighting for $150. But I sure can post this rant on the internet and hope a bunch of people see it. It's the equivalent of the strongly worded letter my parents taught me how to write to companies in the 80s. I will say, though, if you are stuck in Comcast or Xfinity automation hell, try Reddit. You might find a diamond customer service agent in the rough. And a note for podcasters, this is where I tie it all together. Fish where the fish are. Leave no stone unturned for where your audience might be hanging out on the internet. That could be Substack. That could be Reddit. Be where your audience is to connect with them. Rant over. Next on my to-do list, try to get money back from Verizon. They charged me for an iPad that I traded in for 14 months after I no longer had the device. Wish me luck. Later.
Feel free to share this episode with someone who might enjoy it. And for help starting a podcast or improving your current show, find Jag online at jagpodcastproductions.com.